In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a beautiful bokeh overlay in Gimp using the G'MIC plugin step by step. This is a really useful effect if you want to add dreamy, glowing background light, make your photo feel more cinematic, or give your image a soft, professional finish without needing complicated editing skills. And the best part is, once you learn this workflow, you can reuse it on portraits, night shots, event photos, and more. If this tutorial helps you out, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next editing guide. Let's jump right in. First, open Gimp and load the image you want to edit. Before doing anything else, duplicate your layer. This is an important step because it gives you a non-destructive working copy, which means you can always go back to the original if you need to. To duplicate the layer, right-click the image layer in the Layers panel and choose Duplicate Layer, or use the duplicate option from the layer controls. Once that new layer is created, make sure it's selected, because that's the layer we'll apply the effect to. Now, it's time to open G'MIC. With the new layer active, go to Filters, then find G'MIC Cute. If you have the plugin installed correctly, it should launch the G'MIC interface. Inside G'MIC, use the search bar or browse the artistic category to find the bokeh filter. This filter is designed to generate soft, glowing light circles and shapes that mimic the look of out-of-focus highlights in photography. When the bokeh filter opens, check the input settings first. Set input layers to active so the effect is applied only to the layer you're working on. Then choose your output mode. You can select in place if you want the effect applied directly to that layer, or new layer if you want to keep the edited version separate. If you're just learning, new layer can be a safer option because it gives you even more flexibility. After that, move on to the main effects settings. This is where you can really customize the look. Start by choosing the shape of your bokeh. Circles usually give the most natural and realistic result, especially for portraits and soft background lighting. If you want something more stylized and artistic, try triangles or hexagons. Those shapes can give your image a more creative, modern feel. Once you've picked your shape, adjust the density. This controls how many bokeh highlights appear in the image. A lower density gives a subtle effect, while a higher density creates a much richer, more noticeable overlay. Then adjust the radius, which controls the size of the bokeh shapes. Smaller values keep the lights delicate, while larger values make them more dramatic and visible. Next, take a look at the color and palette settings. This is one of the most important parts if you want the bokeh to blend naturally with your photo. Try matching the colors to the lighting in your image. For example, if you're editing a sunset photo, warm golds, oranges, and soft pinks usually work really well. If it's a night scene, cool blues, purples, and subtle whites can look much more believable. You can also adjust dispersion to spread the colors in a way that feels more organic. The goal here is to make the effect feel like it belongs in the original photo, not like it was pasted on top. Once you're happy with the settings, click OK to apply the bokeh effect. At this point, you should already see a nice dreamy overlay in your image. But to make it look even more realistic, the next step is to soften the lights a little. Apply a mild Gaussian blur, usually somewhere between 2 and 5 pixels. This helps the bokeh shapes blend more naturally into the background and prevents them from looking too sharp or artificial. A light blur goes a long way here, so don't overdo it. Now let's clean up the image so the bokeh doesn't cover important parts of your subject. Add a white layer mask at full opacity to the bokeh layer. A white mask means everything is visible at first. Then grab a soft black paintbrush and gently paint over areas where the bokeh is blocking your subject's face, body, or any other important detail. Painting with black on the mask hides the effect in those areas, while still keeping it visible in the background. If you make a mistake, just switch to white and paint the effect back in. This gives you very precise control over where the overlay appears. Take your time with the mask, because this is what makes the effect look polished instead of messy. You want the bokeh to feel like it sits behind your subject, not on top of them. A few careful brush strokes can make a huge difference in the final result. Once the subject is clean and the background looks balanced, zoom out and review the entire image. If needed, go back and fine-tune the shape, density, radius, blur, or mask until everything looks just right. Small adjustments can completely change the mood of the photo, so don't be afraid to experiment a little. That's one of the best things about using G'MIC in Gimp. You can create a high-end effect without a complicated workflow, and that's how you create a bokeh overlay in Gimp using G'MIC. It's a simple process once you understand the steps. Duplicate your layer, open the bokeh filter, customize the shapes and colors, soften the effect, and then use a mask to keep your subject clean and sharp. With just a few adjustments, you can turn an ordinary image into something much more cinematic and eye-catching. If this tutorial helped you, please hit the like button, subscribe for more GIMP and editing tutorials, and share this video with someone who wants to improve their photo edits. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.